She's getting us set to record this morning's session. I just want to offer a friendly reminder to everyone to please mute yourselves. We are going to have a Q&A session at the end, so there'll be plenty of opportunity to chat. If something comes up that's pressing at any point in the conversation here, feel free and enter questions in the chat box. But again, we will circle back at the end, so there will be plenty of opportunity. So I want to start by just introducing myself. I know many of you on the phone, but for those of you who I don't know, my name is Dustin Engelken. I'm the Government Affairs Director at the Triangle Apartment Association. We appreciate you all taking the time to join us this morning, and we're really pleased to offer this presentation in partnership with the Raleigh-Wake Partnership to End Homelessness. This is a new program, and I won't steal Kim and Jasmine's thunder on the presentation, but this is, I guess, an opening meeting here to start the conversation, and I really intend for this to be interactive. I think everyone is going to benefit from the feedback here, so really encourage you all to share your thoughts through this morning's presentation. Before we jump into it and before we let our presenters introduce themselves, I know some of you all have sister properties across the region here. Today's program is specific to Wake County. I do want to remind people that there is a somewhat similar program in Durham that we have information up on the blog. So if you have properties in Durham and this program does not apply to all your properties, you can access that information on our website. But without further ado, I want to jump into today's program. And I'll start just by, I guess, turning over the floor to Kim and Jasmine, and they can introduce themselves and their team, and look forward to your presentation. So thanks for joining us, guys. Appreciate you.
Well, Dustin and company, thank you for allowing us this time to give you this brief presentation. My name is Kim Crawford. I am the current Executive Director of the Raleigh-Wake Partnership to End and Prevent Homelessness. The partnership has been around since 2006. We are currently, within the last few months, going through some major revisions and changes. And part of that is revisiting the programming that we are currently doing in Wake County. Specifically, and during this crisis pandemic, the issue of homelessness and or at risk of homelessness is becoming much more prevalent. Certainly there are a lot of people that are on the verge of losing their homes and jobs, etc., because of loss of income. All that seems to do is exacerbate the current homeless situation that we have within our county. Part of some of the programs that we are implementing are attempts to slow down entry into the homeless system. And this presentation today is designed to help expedite or speed up the process of exiting the homeless system. Certainly we have some or little impact on that, where you all can help us make a much larger, efficient and effective impact on exiting the system, because certainly the only way to exit the homeless crisis response system is obtaining a home, which is where we need your help. So our team, in partnership with Wake County, is in the process of implementing this housing navigation unit. We have 2 staff currently right now who are charged with building and or creating this program. The first one is Jasmine Volkel. She is our coordinated access system, i.e. meaning entry into the homeless crisis response system and exit from the homeless crisis response system. So Jasmine is our coordinated access system director. Monica Gauthier is our housing navigation unit manager. So she is actually tasked with the day-to-day operation of the housing navigation unit. They've pulled together this presentation that we want to share with you, and then hopefully we can engage in a thoughtful, intentional Q&A. We are hoping that many of you can also help us build this program. It is certainly built and with you in mind, and therefore we'd like to take your feedback and incorporate into the Housing Navigation Unit. So without further ado, I'm going to let Jasmine and Monica take over.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Jasmine Vocal, and as Kim said, I am the Coordinated Access Systems Director. As she mentioned, my job is to oversee the entire system to make sure that the inflow and the outflow are both moving well. And the Housing Navigation Unit is one of the programs that is under the overall umbrella of Coordinated Access System. And so I won't be presenting today, but I'll definitely be a part of the Q&A that will occur later on. And so I'm going to turn it over to Monica, who will be doing the bulk of the presentation today.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to thank you so much for taking time out of your morning and jumping on this Zoom presentation so that we can able to present to you a program that we want to be able to get going right away. And we can't do it without your help. So I am in charge of the exiting of the Coordinated Access System with finding and connecting individuals, case managers, agencies, as well as landlords, and we're that unit to plug everybody in. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this presentation, have a Q&A and some good conversations leading from this so we can get going, okay? So this is the Housing Navigation Unit presented through the Raleigh-Wake Partnership to End Homelessness. The Housing Navigation Unit was established in June of 2020 by the Raleigh-Wake Partnership to End and Prevent Homelessness and the Wake County Housing Affordability and the Community Realization during, COVID pandemic. So we're going to assist homeless households find and maintain safe and affordable housing in a private sector. So as we were talking about, the Housing Navigation Unit is the plug. The plugs around this, we have the case manager, we have the client, we have the landlord, as well as getting housing and signing off on a lease. The Wake Housing Navigation Program is committed to providing excellent customer service. We are a client-centered program that will offer continuous support, guidance, and trust to everyone part of the Wake Partnership. So that is looking like our case managers are our customers, our clients are our customers, our landlords, and making sure that all their needs and everybody's intentions, we're that unit to plug it in, keep that communication, keep everything going. There are 4 elements of the Housing Navigation Unit. 1, what we're doing today, recruiting landlords. Second part is partnering with agencies. We have a support hotline, and we also have risk mitigation funds that we're going to go through. The first part, like I talked about, element 1, is to recruit and support landlords in the private market who rent to Wake County. We can't do this by ourselves. We can't end homelessness or put an indent in homelessness without that third piece of having landlords to having access to housing. Second part is partnering with community agencies who provide support services to tenants. We're going to make sure that our case managers are working with individuals to get them ready to have IDs, mainstream their income, having resources connected to them so that when they're ready to be housed and all their information is going to you, you have everything that you need on your end, okay? Our third element, we can't do this without support and communication. So we have developed a 24-hour landlord engagement hotline to assist with any issues or concerns with tenants. So we want that continuous communication. This program is going to work if our customer service is trusting and we're open and we're transparent. So if landlords have questions or have concerns or something's not right, we want to be proactive instead of reactive. We want to be able to get in there and resolve all issues, connect with the case manager, making sure that they're checking up on their clients and making sure that everything within this lease is followed. Number 4, provide risk mitigation funds to cover costs of any damages. Let's face it, unfortunately, when people move into housing, things happen. We are able to say, you know what, we understand that, and we're not going to make that a demand on the landlords. We're going to assist with those charges to make sure that any damages that are done, you guys will be able to receive coverage for that. Benefits of this. First, the housing navigation unit needs to understand that being a landlord, first and foremost, is a business. And we have to respect that, and we have to understand that. Part of that, of what that looks like, is timely rental payment. We will provide HUD housing inspections, protect your property, provide that support, and the big thing, finding tenants. How that's going to look with some of the other landlord benefits, you'll receive a sign-on bonus. Landlords are eligible to receive turn cost assistance. And again, as I mentioned before, that risk mitigation fund to protect your property against loss or damage. We want to make sure that landlords are protected with partnering with the House Wait program. Finding tenants. You will no longer have to advertise for new tenants. That's costly. We want to save money on your part. So House Wait has a pool of hundreds of ready-to-rent tenants to choose from. So if we put a tenant in and people have to be accountable and we have to meet people where they are, and let's say it doesn't work out, we have another pool of clients that we can go ahead and replace that so you're not losing income on this particular housing unit. Timely rental payment. As the housing navigation unit, we are, as I stated, connecting landlords, case managers, and clients. So that understanding will be brought to the table. How will you be getting paid? When you will be getting paid? Many of our clients will receive subsidies to cover the cost of security deposits and rent. Case managers will be working closely with clients to make sure that rent is paid and paid on time as part of being in this program. HUD HQS inspections will be completed by a certified housing inspector that we will send out. Clients move in and when clients move out after. So we want to streamline this process. We want to say if the landlord says, yes, you know what, I'm interested in this program, we want to partner with you, I'll give you 2 units. We're going to immediately send out inspectors, view the property, get that offset, so when the case managers come to us with a client who is ready, based on what your lease application looks like, all the documentation that they need, they will bring that to the table and the inspection will be done so we continue the process and move this on. Another benefit, as we talked about, we need that support. So a centralized program offers a single access point for landlords and agencies seeking to connect currently available units to individuals and families holding vouchers and in search of housing. Landlords can reach someone quickly when a unit becomes available, or if they need to speak to a staff person because a tenant needs assistance. Whatever the issue is, we are going to be that mentor for the clients and the case managers, and we are going to be there for the landlords. If any issues or anything come up, you guys can have access to us 24/7. Main thing, protecting your property. This is a business, as I stated, and we are always going to respect that. So case managers will conduct home visits regularly to make sure that the home is in good repair, everything's in clean, tenants are following the abide by the lease, and like I stated before, being proactive instead of reactive so corrective action can be put in place. We can't do this alone. I'm a big Batman fan and everybody needs a superhero. So we're dedicated to supporting landlords who work closely with our housing assistance programs in Wake County. Another part, how do we do this? How do we go about with partnering with House Wait? Well, 2 ways. As a landlord, if you're interested in providing rental units to persons served in Wake County, you can contact me or Ms. Jasmine. And as an advisor, we want to make sure that we're hearing you and all your issues and concerns with being a landlord are addressed. So we're interested in joining a monthly discussion about barriers, about success, processes to improve communication and outcomes so Wake County can be a better business partner to you, other landlords, and so that we can make sure that we're helping the individuals that are being served. So some questions that you may have, and maybe not all of them, but some. Will I have to change my rental application process? Absolutely not. Your process stays the same. We just ask that you give some consideration for the populations that we are serving. Can I continue to use my lease? Yes, we're not changing anything on your end as our business partner with our being a landlord. You will continue to do business as usual. Your lease, your application, and whatever other requirements you already have will continue. So when that case manager comes to us, whatever your requirements are for that property, we're going to make sure that all that is there and all that is together. How will I get paid? We're going to connect with the agency that's going to assist with making sure that your payments are going to be state it to you in the way that you feel comfortable, either direct deposit, mail-in check, or somebody can come and pick it up in person. However that's going to work with you, we are that navigation unit to connect with the agencies to make sure that's going to be continuous and it's going to be timely. Are there a lot of forms I need to complete? We know we all hate documentation and forms and everything like that. We're gonna make this process as simple as easy. We will need a W-9 ID, tax ID form, and just our simple Housewig application. That information sheet will provide us with your contact information, what property is available, and other logistics. What information do you require? Credit checks, criminal background checks, whatever your process is to get someone to be connected to your unit. This is our contact information. Again, I thank you for joining us this morning. I thank you for listening to us and learning about the Housewig program. Again, my name is Monica Garcia. I'm the Housing Navigation Unit Manager. That is my email and my contact phone number. And if you cannot get me, you can always get Ms. Jasmine. She is the Coordinated Access Systems Director, and that is her contact information as well. I thank you all so much for listening to us, and we'll open the floor up for any questions or concerns. Dustin?
Thanks, Monica. That was great. Before we jump in, let me just say, you know, it's been a real pleasure. The program here has literally started from the ground up, and I think a lot of the things that have been included in today's presentation have come out of conversations that we've had over the last couple weeks. So in opening it up here, I want to do two things. If you have any questions about anything that you've seen in the presentation, obviously I want you to feel free and you know, shoot those questions over. The other piece, though, is I want to open this up for feedback. You know, I can't say enough good about Ken, Jasmine, and Monica. All these guys have been really receptive to feedback, and part of the reason we wanted you all here today is, you know, obviously we'd love to help create the partnership and get you guys involved in the program, but also want you to feel free to share any feedback you have on things that you like, things that you didn't like, things that might need to change to work for your property. So at this point, I'll go ahead and open up the floor. You can either use the chat box, or if you're connected here on audio, feel free and jump in here. So we have a question in the chat box here, a couple of questions in the chat box. Let's start with Rita's. What is the anticipated time frame for inspections? And can you speak a little bit more about how that process would work?
As soon as a landlord is able to contact us and say they have a unit available, they want to partner with the program, once they complete that information sheet, we will then immediately send out a property inspector to go ahead, inspect that unit, and we're going to tag it in our database to say that this unit is available and ready to go.
Okay. Got another question here. Can you speak to, I guess, how tenants are going to be paying rent? Are tenants going to have housing choice vouchers? Are they going to be on other public programs, or how do you anticipate that piece working?
That's going to come directly through the partner agencies. How they are, because it's their client, we don't do the direct service with that. We're linking everybody together. So how their processes are in as well, we're going to continue to follow that. So whatever a program has for their funding to assist their clients, either with security deposits or first month's rent, that all will be given up front when we're connecting that partner landlord and that partner client.
And keep in mind that the lease is in the tenant's name. So the interaction, hopefully as we create that positive landlord-tenant relationship, that will continue well past any participation between the partnership and or the housing service provider. So, but as long as there's that connection, whether it's with the housing case manager or with the partnership, we will stay involved until everybody's ready to be let go.
So just to clarify, so you said the lease is in the tenant's name, and I know we've talked about this before. So tenants are going to be coming from different situations. Some of them may have vouchers, some of them may not, some of them may be able to support rent on their own. Is that's correct?
That is correct. That's absolutely correct.
So for the property managers and folks on site here, and you know, if your property doesn't take housing choice vouchers or you have restrictions on source of income of any kind, I mean, I think those are things you can communicate. Part of the role here of the navigation unit is to find the right tenants for the right units and making sure that whatever the requirements are for your property, that they're connecting you with somebody that meets those qualifications. So I think there's a lot of flexibility there that I think is really exciting and has great potential here. So we got some more questions in the chat box from Kelly. Jasmine, can you talk to issues and success that you experienced in Alamance County?
Monica,
sorry.
Yes, so yes, I am coming from Alamance County, where I was the landlord engagement specialist there for their emergency shelter. And the program we developed there and the success we developed there is partnering and engaging with landlords so that our single individuals were housed within 30 to 45 days, our families 45 to 65 days, making sure that we followed all the guidelines of what the landlord wanted and that communication was open. I think that was one of the main keys to success. We were communicating with the clients ongoing, we were communicating with the landlords ongoing. So any issues and concerns, we were that mediator in the middle to make sure, hey, is your rent being paid? Here's your money order, make sure we're dropping this off. Continuous ongoing support to clients until they were able to leave that on their own. Another thing that we instituted was shared housing. Shared housing is something that we can also talk about if any landlords are interested in that, where it's kind of like student housing. Each person is renting out their own individual rooms and using the common areas with guidelines of what that's going to work like as well. So there was many different options in Alamance County that we can look into and discuss and kind of connect with the landlords here as well.
Great. So you got another question here in the chat box. How are you funded to be able to pay for the property turn costs and these sign-on bonuses to the property? And does this program cost the property anything to participate in?
So I get the funding question. The Housing Navigation Unit is funded and will be continuing to be funded through a couple of different funding sources. So upfront and the startup costs for the Housing Navigation, we're using federal COVID CARE Act dollars. So we can use those dollars to grow the program and implement the program. Specific to the turn costs and sign-on bonuses, those are some of the identified budget line items for a successful Housing Navigation Unit. So I, of course, put those in the budget. So those types of costs I budgeted for. So they are included within the grant that we receive. The primary funding entity is Wake County, but certainly they're using different funding sources. So some of those funders have some criteria. All of them agree on sign-on bonus, risk mitigation, turn costs, all of those kinds of things. I think that the beauty of this program, though, is we budgeted for those costs, and it costs nothing to you all to participate in the program. All we're looking for is landlords who understand the participants or clients, the people that we are representing, and some of the issues that they bring to the table. Certainly we know that not everybody is perfect, and some of our participants aren't either. Their biggest and primary issue is that they simply have no home. Other than that, they come to the table with the same issues that everybody else does. Some have criminal records, some have bad credit history, all of those types of things. We are simply asking that with our assistance that you work with us in the case management assistance so that we can help these tenants be super successful for you. And again, the beauty is it costs you nothing. We are simply asking that you have some leeway with some of these participants. Again, I think that one of the key things that we need to bring up is that we will need the properties to be fair market rent units. We do know that some of your units may or may not meet that fair market rent criteria. What we're asking is that if you have a property of 20 units, that you would consider one, maybe two of those units to be at fair market rent, so that we can help some of these people get in and be successful.
I think I want to add too to that, as it's not costing the landlord any type of funds in order to be a part of this program, and that continued support for clients is what makes this a success as well. When clients are being held accountable, when they're checked up on, when their support services are put in there, they're more likely to succeed in maintaining their housing. At this time with COVID and this pandemic, people are evicted for many reasons. A lot of people lost income. They were probably good clients and tenants beforehand. This pandemic has really taken a toll, and I think that's where the county is showing that we still need to be able to help and house individuals, and so that's what we're asking.
So I'll just piggyback with one comment, and I know Kim had mentioned this, but this is a Wake County program. Many of you know the Wake County commissioners have made a very strong and sizable commitment to affordable housing and providing housing opportunities across the county. We as an association have been proud to partner with them on a number of initiatives, and that's kind of where this conversation started. So I really, it's important, I think, that we do our part as much as we're able to. This is a unique opportunity, and that the commissioners have put a significant amount of money down to create a program with all of us in mind, really, and to try and make this, fit our needs as best as possible. So, even after the conversation has ended today, if there's additional things that you'd like to offer in terms of feedback, feel free and communicate those to me. I can get them to Monica or Kim or whoever needs to have it on their end. I know that their contact information was put up in the presentation too. Feel free and reach out to them directly with any questions and comments. But we're really excited about the possibilities here, and hope that we can help these guys develop a really robust program to make this thing happen. Before we close it down, I'm sorry.
Justin, can I just throw in one other thing real quick? I think that to your point, Justin, this is a real opportunity we have here. When we look within the homeless crisis response system, we have absolutely an influx of people within the system. We potentially have the goal between now and the end of the calendar year, by January 1, we have a need that's exceeding 250 to 300 households in Wake County. And those are new. Those are new people that have entered into the homeless crisis response system. That 250 to 300 is over and above people that were already in the system. So we are hoping to see what we can do in partnership with you all to build this system as quickly and as robustly as possible to help people get housed and stabilized quickly. So it's just, it's not that we're talking 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 units here. We're talking significant number of units throughout the county. So if you're sitting there and wonder if, just say yes. And we'll see what we can do to make that work.
Absolutely. Thanks for that. Give just another minute if anybody has any last questions here. We'll give you the opportunity before we close it down. Okay. I'm not seeing anybody jump in here. So I want to thank you all again for participating this morning. We appreciate you guys all in the middle of lease up, taking the time to talk with us. I know everybody's world is upside down right now and your time is valuable. So we appreciate you coming in. Monica, Jasmine, Ken, thank you very much for the informative presentation. Thank you for the continued conversation, the feedback. We really appreciate the relationship and look forward to taking the ball forward from here. So as a reminder, this presentation is recorded, so we will get a link up to that on the website. Please feel free and share this with your colleagues or others who you think may be interested across the county. And again, thank you for your participation this morning. I appreciate you all.
Thank you. Everyone have a good day. Take care. Thank you.
All right.